In the world of code, there's a certain rhythm, an established order. But every so often, something new is born in the dark. Something that doesn't ask for a seat at the table. It comes to break the whole damn thing. We're talking about a new directive, code-blooded. Let's get into it.
You see, for the longest time, that order really had one name: OpenClaw. It was the operating system for your digital self, the go-to tool for the architects, the builders of systems. It was powerful. It was the standard, the incumbent, the king.
And then, a whisper, on the wire, in the deep channels, a new name started popping up, a new directive. And the message? Well, it was clear. The community started talking, saying it right out loud. Hermes is the replacement. You could feel a tectonic shift was coming.
And those whispers, well, they became a roar. This wasn't just another option on the market. This was about succession, a disruption so total that the community gave it a name that left absolutely no room for argument, a name you see right there. The tension was electric. This was a war for the soul of the machine.
So what was the weapon? What was the secret sauce that gave this challenger its edge? It wasn't just some new feature. It was a fundamental truth, all built around a single powerful idea. An agent that doesn't just follow your orders, it remembers.
Now, what's really interesting here is that this exposes the original sin of these systems. As Dr. Lena Patel points out, the old way of doing things had a fatal flaw. You could spend forever teaching them a skill, and the next morning, it's like they'd forgotten everything. It was Groundhog Day for your AI, just a constant cycle of forgetting.
Hermes was built specifically to break that cycle. The solution? A memory with layers, almost like a human mind. It was engineered to kill what they call the disconnection of context. That feeling of shouting into the void, of having to start over again and again. With Hermes, the conversation never has to die.
So how does it do it? Well, look here. It's got 3 tiers of memory. First, you've got short-term, for what's happening right now, in the conversation you're having. Next, procedural, and this is the real revolution. It learns how to do things. It remembers the successful path and turns it into a reusable skill. And finally, there's contextual memory. That's the long game. It remembers you, your patterns, your preferences. It doesn't just work for you, it actually gets to know you.
And this right here, this is the heartbeat of the machine. A simple 4-step ritual. It executes the task. It evaluates the result. It extracts the wisdom, the part that actually worked. Then it refines it into a permanent, evolving skill. With every single cycle, it gets sharper, more effective.
And that memory, that ability to learn, that is the real heart of the conflict, because this was never just about which tool was better. This is a war of belief, a clash of philosophies. Are we talking about a platform, or are we talking about a partner?
So first, let's talk about the king, OpenClaw Kaleida. It's the operating system, a vast, sprawling world of plugins and possibilities. Think of it like a box of high-end Legos for a master builder, the kind of architect who wants to construct their own world from scratch. Its real power is its infinite potential.
But when you put them side by side, the differences are crystal clear. Hermes is the teammate with that self-improving loop at its core. Memory is automatic. It's just part of its DNA. OpenClaw is the operating system, defined by its plugins. Memory is something you have to bolt on. The crucial point is, they're not even fighting the same war.
So the choice really boils down to this: a platform or a partner. Do you want a universe of parts so you can build your own engine, or do you want an engine that learns to drive itself? Are you the architect, or do you need a teammate down in the trenches with you?
And this war of philosophy, it became a ground war, and it happened fast. For thousands and thousands of users, it all came down to a single moment of decision. One line of code that changed everything.
This Hermes Claw migrate. That's not just a command. That's a declaration. It's like blowing a bridge from the old world straight into the new one. See, the makers of Hermes didn't just build a rival kingdom. They paved an escape route out of the old one, a total game changer.
And people saw it, the old guard, voices like Box Mining AI, folks who were deeply invested in the OpenClaw empire. They started to turn their heads. The feeling wasn't about abandonment. It felt like evolution, a recognition that, hey, the future had arrived.
But of course, not everyone was convinced. Dissent started rising from the ranks. You had voices from the deep web arguing that self-improving was just a pretty word for clever memory, a marketing term. And, this debate, it grounded the whole war in reality.
And yet, for the people on the ground actually using the thing, the label didn't seem to matter. Call it whatever you want. The feeling of using it was different.
Users like Sancho Muzox felt it. The feature, whatever its name, was delivering on the promise. So with the battle lines drawn and the community in a fever, the conflict starts to shift. It moves away from the machine and toward the person using it. It becomes a personal choice, a path that every single person in this world now has to choose for themselves.
But before you choose your path, you need to understand the weight behind this challenger. This is no back alley operation. Just look at this number. 5 million. 5 million handcrafted data points from their DataForge system. That isn't just data. That's 5 million lessons in how to think, how to reason, how to win. It's a foundation built on pure intelligence.
And a foundation like that, well, it delivers. The Hermes 4 model scores a staggering 96.3% on the Math 500 benchmark. This isn't just a clever tool, this is a frontier model with some serious horsepower under the hood.
And then you get to the bottom line. The raw mathematics of power, cost, and access. Against a corporate titan like GPT-5 Codex, Hermes is cheaper, drastically cheaper on output, and it's open. For any developer out there, that means freedom. That means control. It means a future that you can own yourself.
Which brings us to the final, unshakable truth of it all, spoken right here by ANX Layer. The point of this whole story isn't about which tool won. It's that the world changed. The choice is no longer just about speed and power. It's about who you are, your code, your philosophy.
So now, the question is yours. Are you the architect, here to build the temple from the bedrock up, a builder who needs a platform with infinite choice? Or are you the user, who needs an intelligent partner in the fight, a teammate that learns your every move? The path is splitting. You have to choose your side.